All right, this is the second half of lesson 12.5 for Honors Algebra 2. All right, now that you guys know how to do the law of sines and law of cosines, it's important to know when you should use which of these laws. So it just depends on what you're given. So if you're given two angles and any side, you want to use the law of sines. So to go back to our geometry days, this is either an ASA situation or an AAS situation. All right, so you want to use the law of sines. If you have two sides and an angle opposite one of them, this is a special case of SSA. And I'm going to put a star on that, because this is a situation where you can have one answer, you can have two answers, or possibly no solution. So you want to be careful in this case to look out for all possible situations. All right. The next one, if you have two sides and their included angle, so if you have a SAS, you want to start off by using the law of cosines. Or if you have all three sides, an SSS situation, you also want to start off using the law of cosines. All right, so again, for these three situations, you're going to get one solution, but for this situation, you want to be a little more careful because you can have 0, 1, or 2 solutions. All right, let's go and try it. So number 6, it says determine whether each triangle should be solved by beginning with the law of sines or law of cosines, and then solve the triangle. All right, in this case, I have an SAS situation, so I want to start off by using the law of cosines. All right. And since I have angle C, I'm going to go ahead and use law of cosines to find the side opposite, so side C, using that law of cosines. So I have C squared is equal to 4 squared plus 9 squared minus 2 times 4 times 9 times cosine of 128. All right, and typing that into our calculators, give you a second to do that. Again, make sure you are in degree mode. And square root to solve for C, and I get 11.9 for C. Okay. And now what's great is because I have an angle and a side opposite, so I have a pair, I can use the law of sines now to find any missing pieces. So let's go ahead and do the law of sine now. With sine of 128 degrees over the 11.9 is equal to sine of, let's do angle A over 9. All right. And so you're going to cross multiply and then divide by 11.9 to solve for sine of A, and then do inverse sine to get angle A is equal to 37 degrees. All right, and then you can solve for angle B by just doing 180 minus the 128 degrees for C minus the 37 degrees for A, leaving you with 15 degrees for angle B. Okay. All right, let me show you number 7. Okay, so number 7, we have a side, side, side situation. So this time I'm also going to be using the law of cosines. Okay, so what I would recommend, because you have 3 sides, you really can choose which angle to solve for first. I would always go for the largest angle. All right, and the reason why I do that is in case this turns out to be an obtuse angle, when I do inverse cosine, my calculator will give me that exact angle. It doesn't just give me the reference angle like inverse sine does. All right, so start with the largest angle. So I'm going to use this opposite side in my law of cosines. So I have 22 squared is equal to 16 squared plus 20 squared minus 2 times 16 times 20 times cosine of angle A. All right, and plug that all into your calculator. Solve for A, and I get 74 degrees. All right. Now with that, I can go ahead and go to the law of sines to solve for either of the other 2 angles. So I'll do sine of 74 degrees over 22 is equal to the sine of, let's do C over 16. All right, we'll cross multiply. And then divide by 22. Inverse sine both sides, and I get C is 44 degrees. All right, and 180 minus 74 minus 44 leaves me with a B of 62 degrees. Okay, let's go on to number 8. All right, so number 8, they give us the actual values, no picture this time, so we can either create our own picture or we can just kind of notice that we have angle A and side A. So since we have a pair, we can actually just use the law of sines to start us off with that. So law of sines is what I'm going to start with, since I have a set of an angle and the side opposite. So I'll do sine of 58 degrees over 12 is equal to the sine of angle B over the side opposite, side B. All right, cross multiply, divide both sides by 12, inverse sine, and you should get angle B is 34 degrees. Or it could be the supplement of 146 degrees. So 180 minus the 34. So B can be either one of those to satisfy this equation. All right. And since I have 2 angles now, I can solve for the third one, doing 180 minus 58 degrees minus 34 gets me 88 degrees. Or, and in this case, if I do 180 minus 58 degrees minus 146, I get a negative angle. So that means this one is not possible. All right, and that just leaves me to find side C. So using law of sine again. This time I'm going to solve for for side C, knowing angle C. All right, cross multiply, divide both sides by sine of 58 degrees, and we get side C is 14.1. All right, so those are my solutions to solve for the triangle. Okay, let's go on to number 9. All right, so number 9, again, I notice I do have a set, angle B and side B, or you can draw the triangle and you can kind of see what you have. And this is going to be the law of sines to start. And so let's set that up. Sine of 44 degrees over 11 is equal to sine of 82 degrees over side A. Cross multiply, divide both sides by sine of 44 degrees, and I get A is 15.7. Let me write that better. All right, so I get side A is 15.7. I also have 2 angles here, so I can just easily solve for my last angle by doing 180 minus 82 minus 44, and I get 54 degrees. All right, and then I can go ahead and set up that law of sines one more time. So sine of 44 degrees over 11 is equal to sine of 54 degrees over the last side, C. All right, cross multiply, divide both sides by sine of 44 degrees, and I get C is 12.8. All right, so those are my missing pieces. Okay, let's get to a word problem. Here we go. Number 10. So we have 2 radar stations, 2.4 miles apart, are tracking an airplane. The straight line distance between station A and the plane is 7.4 miles, and the straight line distance between station B and the plane is 6.9 miles. What is the angle of elevation? All right, so I'm going to underline that because that's what I'm looking for. What is the angle of elevation from station A to the plane, round to the nearest degree? Okay, so with word problems, I always like to draw a picture. All right, so I'm going to put station A right here and station B right there. And the distance between them is 2.4 miles. All right, and then there's an airplane. I'm going to put the airplane a little off of center because it's closer to station B. All right, so there's my plane. From station A, it says the straight line distance is 7.4 miles. And the straight line distance to station B is 6.9 miles. All right, now the angle of elevation is what I'm looking for. So remember, angle of elevation, we're always starting with a horizontal line and going up. So from station A to the airplane, this is the angle I'm looking for. All right, now since I'm in an SSS situation, I'm going to be using the law of cosines. All right, and since that's the angle I'm looking for, I'm going to use this side opposite to start off. So 6.9 square is equal to 7.4 square plus 2.4 square minus 2 times 7.4 times 2.4 times cosine of x. All right, and now we just solve for cosine of x. So type that onto your calculator, subtract, divide, solve for cosine of x, and then do inverse cosine to find out that x is, and I get 68.687, dot, dot, dot. All right, and it says round to the nearest degree, so this is going to be a 69-degree angle. All right, and that's it.